Welcome to episode 408 of the official Gamestitch Podcast. I'm Ryan Walton, and as always, I'm joined by Dan Reamer.
Hello again.
Welcome to the greatest show on the internet, I think.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go with that, I guess.
I almost said on Earth, but then I almost got sued by the defunct circus.
Yes.
Because I think they still own that.
By the greatest show. The greatest show on Earth. They're not even around anymore, are they?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think they're not even allowed to do circuses anymore, are they?
No, it turns out they're cruel.
Right.
Yep.
You ever been to a circus?
I've never had the opportunity to. Well, I guess I have had the opportunity. I've never had the pleasure of going.
Huh.
I could have gone. My school used to have one that rolled through, like a county fair. It was like a circus that would roll through.
See, we used to have, when I was like young, probably 5, 6 years old, we used to have the actual Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus come to the War Memorial.
No, we had third cousins of them that just traveled around with like two tents.
It was like Joe's Petting Zoo.
Yeah. Oh, it stopped. They stopped the greatest show on Earth in 2017.
That's when they went defunct.
Defunct, yeah. I don't know. Rest in peace, Barnum and Bailey.
Yeah.
Or not. I don't know that what you were doing was all right.
Yeah, I don't know the ins and outs of it.
Yeah. That's where I'm at. Like, I don't know. Maybe it was fine. Maybe it wasn't.
I'm pretty sure them PETA folks were all about wasn't, but...
We're not happy about it, I think.
Yeah.
I think they had some unfortunate videos come out that showed some maybe less than desirable conditions.
Yeah, I think something may have happened along those lines.
Yeah, and we like to start shows off on the right note, so animal cruelty is usually where we'll start one.
Yeah. After
I just got done saying it was the greatest show on the internet, we like to start with the most down topic I could think of.
Because that's what we do on Sundays, on this Sunday anyway.
Look at that human centipede of elephants.
That's not the human centipede. That's
They're
different.
All ATM.
The elephant's head is not sewed into the other elephant's asshole.
Well, they do trunk to asshole is what they'll do.
Is that how they would do it?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think so. Because they don't eat through their trunk. They still have to eat through their mouths.
Right, so they'll be fine. They'll just have to have somebody feed them.
Gotcha.
Uh-oh. You hear that?
I did.
How you feel about that interruption?
That's wonderful. Was that you?
That was me.
Why don't you mute that shit? We're trying to put on something professional here.
That's my work phone. That's the one that makes the money, that noise.
Oh, this turned into the greatest show of never.
Do you think maybe your attitude's bringing it down a little bit? Right?
It could. I think maybe all the background noise of your telephone is.
I like the telephone call out. Not a cell phone, but a telephone.
Telephone.
Like I'm on the landline making alerts. You can feel this right now. I've got to answer this.
You have to answer it?
Yeah.
Oh, no. It's come down to me to carry the weight while you're on the phone.
I'm not answering. I'm answering the text. I can still be here as a support system.
Oh. Got it. What is this? I guess, is there a problem with it? Why do people still make that gesture for calling somebody then? You ever see that?
The hang tight?
Yeah.
Hang loose?
Yeah. People still make that for, hey, call me.
Do they?
I would imagine so.
The thing that you have to take into consideration now is, do people do it to sit, like, are they doing it to also, like, be funny?
Oh, yeah, I guess I don't know.
Yeah, it's not just, because people do that, but are they doing, like, is that like funny? Also, I don't know, what are you going to, what is the symbol you do now? I think kids actually don't use this. I think kids actually do the palm up to the ear.
Do they?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's a thing.
Like slapping yourself in the side of the head?
Mm-hmm. Like raising the roof on your cheek?
Yeah, at least the hang tight thing hang loose was like cool. It had a cool
Isn't it weird that it's telephone, but if you just give it a little shimmy, you're hanging loose?
Uh-huh, yeah.
I like those that I like with multiple meanings like that.
With just a little shake?
Yeah, yeah, same gesture, just give it a little wag.
Mm-hmm. You're like, hey,
remember when you used to have
loose.
Remember when the Wii remote would tell you to wag it?
Yep.
You had to wag the Wii remote.
Wag it.
The Wiimote. Nintendo bad at naming things.
Yeah, there's the surfer. There was just a surfer girl there, holding up the hang loose.
Yeah, well, we
There
don't know
she
if
is.
she surfs, but she hangs loose.
Learn how to throw the perfect Hawaiian shaka. I've been doing it wrong all these years. Apparently, you have to keep your pinky straight.
Yeah,
And
like
parallel
2 times
to the
straight.
ground.
You have to be shoulder width on your feet too.
Do you?
No. I mean, according to her, you have to have a bikini on. All those pictures had a bikini.
All those pictures. Well, not that dude in the Hawaiian shirt.
That's a man bikini.
Oh, those ladies do have, yes,
Yeah,
bikinis on.
riding a bike in one.
Mm-hmm. That's a big thing over in the West Coast.
Riding a bike?
In a bikini.
Oh. You don't ride a bike here because you get hit by a car. If you're not from Tennessee, I'll let you know drivers not good. Very distracted, as I think typically we win that award for most distracted drivers in the country. I think every year.
I can, having lived in Tennessee, I can vouch. Can't drive.
Yeah. Well, people are like reading books and eating and playing on their phones.
Doing their makeup.
Yeah,
I mean,
constantly see people do everything but drive.
Yeah. Like they don't understand what the car's for.
Yep. I've turned into like an angry old man
Oh, nice. You're one of
about
those
that
now.
kind of stuff. Yeah. I mean, not to them. I'm not like hollering out the window, but
You're just raging out in your car?
I'm just like, what are they doing? Yeah, I'm just that guy. Like, why are you driving so fast?
I do that too. Only I do it because most time here, for whatever reason, whenever I try to go anywhere, and it's something that I want to go to and get done, I'm not a guy who speeds. All right, so I'll do like, if it's 55, I'll do like 60.
Yeah, that's what I do.
So I guess it is speeding, but I'm not one of these guys that does 95 in a 55. You know what I mean? Every time I'm in a hurry and I really want to get something, I'm wanting to get something and get home or whatever, for some reason I get stuck behind somebody who just wants to do fucking 40 miles an hour in the 55. Every fucking time.
How about the person, Gerald, that's like deadliest and stuff. See if you can find like distract. I think that's the poll that I saw. And I don't know how they determine that, but how about the people who are doing your exact speed, but like maybe like, so if you're doing 60, they're doing 59.
Yeah.
And so you go to get around them and now you guys have locked up in a perfect sync.
Yeah.
They've added the 1 mile per hour now that you're side by
Now
side.
they've gone faster. So you got to gun it up to 70 and take your chances and hope there's no cops right up ahead.
Yeah. We're all the way down to 15th now. Tennessee's making strides in the distracting driving column.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they are.
That's why Gerald's here, because I've been just spewing out bullshit all
We're
morning.
apparently we're above you.
You think they're talking about the city, though?
I would imagine most of it's a city. Well, I don't know. No, I know plenty of stupid people that live close to me that are probably part of that. So,
Shout out to Dan's stupid neighbors.
that's just not what I was going with, but
No, that's what I got tons of dumbasses live right next to me.
it does seem to have come out that way. That's not the way it was intended.
No, I get it. That's what I would say, too. That's what I would say, too. I have
I actually really like my neighbors. All my neighbors are really cool. So.
I could safely say that my neighbors don't listen, but I really like one of my neighbors, and I really don't have an opinion about my other neighbor, which for me that's a win.
What about? Did you tell me about some neighbors that were some old people that just watched you work?
So yeah, I did call those neighbors. They're 2 houses down, though.
Oh, okay.
And for this, I'm only...
So they're watching across the neighbor's backyard. Just watching you work, leaning on the fence.
So all of our backyard lines are roughly in the same spot.
Right.
So they'll just stand there, and shout out to the old people, if you're listening. They just stand in their garage open sometimes and stare at me, and other times they just lean on the fence and stare right at me, and they don't pretend to not be staring at me. They're not like grabbing a broom and like, oh, I'm just sweeping the same spot all day. They just stare at you. And I wave, and they don't wave back.
Oh, that's rude.
Yeah, I'm waving to be like, I see you staring at me, and they're like, nope.
But we're not. We can't even see you.
Yeah. I didn't even see you there till you waved. I'm like, you're looking right at me. You're only looking at me. The other day I was working on the chicken coop, and I turned around and he was like 3/4 back in his yard staring right inside of it.
Oh, yeah?
Hands on his hips, just staring right in it.
Maybe he's not happy about whatever you're building.
It don't have anything to do with him.
Oh, I agree with that, but...
I'm not happy about the constantly staring at what I'm doing. If he had been like a 7-year-old girl, I would have been terrified. If I'd have turned around and he was just standing there like that.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
We'll talk about that more. But I don't know what his problem is. He may not even have a problem. I don't know what he wants from me. I've had conversations
he doesn't want
with him.
anything. Maybe it's a
nice.
ghost. Maybe he can't speak or wave or anything because he's a ghost.
Well, we've talked before.
Oh.
I was working one day.
Maybe you're the only one who can see him, and he's the only one who can see you.
That's a real possibility. I was working on the lawnmower one day up front back when I was mowing, and I looked up and he was just standing there. And so I had earmuffs on and AirPods in, so I couldn't hear anything. He's just 3 feet away from me.
Talking away?
Never met him before in my life. No, just staring at me.
Oh.
I was like, oh shit, what's up? He goes, you got any metal?
Like what? Did you ask him to elaborate or?
Well, let me tell you what his non-staring ass said. The other day you had some angle iron leaned up against the fence. I was wondering if you're doing anything with it.
Oh.
Yeah. Did you see that when you weren't looking at me? You son of a bitch. Is that when you got to look at it? So I gave him that.
Oh,
but then it turns out he's like a junk guy, and so any trash that I have, like anything that's substantial that I don't want to haul off to the dump, he takes it and scraps it out.
Oh, cool. That actually kind of works, right?
It's been actually very convenient, but he still stares. I thought once we developed that friendship, I like to call it.
Yeah, once you develop a repertoire.
Yeah, once we were best friends, I didn't think he would feel the need to stare anymore. I'm going to say he's probably almost 90, if not 90. He's old.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is very old. They're on the porch 87% of the day. They're just outside on the porch.
Just outside on the porch, yep.
And the rest of the time, he's just manicuring the lawn. He keeps a good lawn.
Yeah, yep. That's what, when I get at my work, I get a lot of the, they used to be farmers.
Oh, so now they're just...
And now they're still, like, they still affiliate themselves. Like, that's their whole identity, is that farm they owned or worked on. So they come in, and like you said, just short of 90. And they're wanting stuff that it's like they haven't made in 30 years. I had a guy, okay, and I need to put the story. I need to put this in context. Okay, I work at a Kubota dealership, right?
Shout out to Kubota.
I sell tractors, or I sell the parts. I'm in the parts. Tractors, lawnmowers, attachments, that kind of thing. So, dude comes in the other day. He's got 2 little metal pieces. Again, this is one of those 90-year-old guys, or just short of, I should say. He's got these 2 metal pieces. He's like, hey, I'm looking for some carburetor linkage. I'm like, okay. Like, most of the time, carbs are usually sold as a unit or as a repair kit. Generally, you can't just purchase the linkage. He goes, yeah, but I'm just looking for the linkage. And I said, okay, well,
I got that.
Well, what it come out of? He goes, well, it come out of a 350. I said, a Chevrolet 350 engine? He says, yeah. I said, I'm a tractor. Kubota doesn't really put too many Chevy engines in there.
You're at a Kubota place.
Kubotas. And they definitely don't put a 350 in anything. Well, I just kind of figured they'd all be the same.
Yeah, well, that's fair.
Oh. Your best bet is to go to an auto. So I'm nice to this guy. I'm like an auto parts you need to go to an auto parts store, not a tractor store. I
really
realize
anywhere but
farming
here that
has been your entire life or whatever, but you need to go to, it's kind of, I can't explain it. You don't go to a cell phone store and ask them to purchase a box of tea.
Yeah, we could.
They're not really. So
I like.
So then, then it got me thinking. Once this guy left, he's like, "Thanks for your help. I'll try one of the auto parts stores." It got me thinking. I'm like, man, can you imagine a 350 Chevy in a fucking zero turn? That'd be amazing.
My favorite thing about this guy is not only did he go to the wrong place to get it, he assumed you knew what he was talking about. Like, he assumed that you'd be on board for him being at the wrong place to buy a thing that he's not going to be able to buy from you.
Yeah.
He probably also, it's worth noting, that guy probably worth $2 million.
Oh, he might be. I don't know.
Yeah. That's how it goes with those old farmers.
But he seemed to be very happy that I was able to point him in the right direction. So,
right.
Because, in my head, of course, I'm thinking, what in the fuck is happening right now?
Yeah.
But, of course, to this gentleman, I'm doing outside Dan.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I understand your dilemma. I'm not sure you'll be able to find it, but if you could, here's where you would probably need to go. You could try this place, this place, this place. They're usually pretty good about finding things by just the engine.
Yeah. They're all automotive places also.
Yeah. Yeah.
They have that in common.
Well, I guess he did say he went to AutoZone, and I'm not calling out AutoZone. This guy called out AutoZone.
It sounds
I
like
shop
you
at
are.
AutoZone. But apparently he went to AutoZone, and the girl looked at him like he had a dick growing out his forehead when he said he needed carb parts for a 350 Chevy.
There's no way, though, that she said check the Kubota place.
No. But he decided that perhaps if he went... And the funny thing is he had to pass a Chevy dealership to get there.
Well, I wouldn't trust them with my Chevy Kubota either, though. Just as a rule of thumb. When I worked at Fastenal, people always used to do that thing. They're like, bet you never seen one of these. Bet you can't get parts for this. Like, if you can't, it's because you shouldn't.
Right.
Like, that's no longer the current piece of technology that they use for whatever process you're using.
Right.
When parts become impossible to find for something, there's a reason.
Oh, yeah.
And I get it. Some people are,
Oh, yeah. It's been a good tractor. I understand that, but it was forged in metal in 1978. Yeah. They don't
was working with my stepdad on stuff 10 years ago or whatever, and he was using the jigsaw he had was like solid metal, like almost like polished chrome.
Uh-huh.
And the cord on it was like fabric, like those like woven.
Yep, I've seen them.
I was like, "How old is that?" He was like, "It was my dad's." I'm like, "I don't even know if that thing is safe."
Yeah.
To use with its all metal construction, and it's clearly compromised plug. And so he used it until it quit, and then I went and bought him a Ryobi one so we could finish the project. He called me like 2 days later. He's like, "That thing is awesome."
Right.
Like, the one you were using was 200 years old.
Yeah.
I don't know how awesome it is or how old what you're using was.
Yep.
But he would have used it forever if it didn't break. And he had to like special order the blades from the only other guy in the world that still had one that worked.
Right. They just traded back and forth.
Yeah. He was like, "That thing is great. It works so much better than the other one." I'm like, "Yeah.
Sure does.
Bet it does."
That's how technology works.
That one was 64 years old. The fact that it worked at all was a miracle.
Yeah.
But there is something to be said for old stuff. I do like old stuff.
I mean, they have their place, yeah. Their place is probably in a museum, not.
Yeah. I think I like old stuff from a perspective like, oh, look at that thing. It's neat. It's old.
Yeah.
But if I'm going to have to like use stuff, I would like the
newer
and the
stuff.
Bestest.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you look at the old stuff and you're like, I can't believe people ever used this.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why you would want to continue to use it when you have a choice.
Right. Like I remember my grandma and grandpa used to have a real literal one. It's like the one that my grandmother used when she was a child. A butter churn.
Oh shit.
And she would explain to me how it worked, and I'd be like, I'm so glad I can just go to the store and get milk.
Yeah. We always had my grandmother had a butter churn that they used to use. That's where we kept loose change in the house.
Nah.
You would just open the butter churn up and toss it in.
Well, this still had the stick in it and everything. This
did too.
The whole, no, did it?
Yeah, but when you pull it up, it would pull that lid up because that lid kind of moves up and down.
Mm-hmm.
There was always like 600 pounds worth of pennies in that thing.
Wow. That's a lot of pennies.
Yeah, all the pennies.
Yeah. Old school butter churn.
I know right now people are like, yeah, the way stuff was made back in the day, though, you can't find anything of that quality. You're not wrong, but they don't have the features of the stuff made today.
Yes, we're primarily talking safety here for one thing.
Yeah. Hold on, is butter churn a sex position?
It appears so.
It's where you pile drive your significant other's face into the ground and sit on top of them, the back of their head, and sit on top. You suplex them, and then insert. Jesus Christ!
Let's play a game. Sex position or wrestling move?
Yeah, or both. Click that top one. Is it called the butter churner? Scroll up. There's like one that looks like Barbie and Ken. Butter sex. The butter churner.
But is not for the faint-hearted. Okay, look, if your sex position has to involve bravery, then you should, or courage, then you should pass. Okay, because it's not war.
According to that document, to that publication that producer Gerald was on, it's great for orgasms.
Apparently, yes. But it's not for the faint-hearted.
It does say that. Or those with a weak neck, it looks like. See that one up top that's pink?
Or back problems, possibly.
Butter churner. That's like two of those. I like that they're showing the sex position with two of those like models that you use for drawing. Whatever those are called. Does that not look like a wrestling move?
It looks exactly like a wrestling move. That's why that should be a game.
Yeah. Gerald thinks it looks like a leg lock's about to happen. All you do is roll them over, grab that side control.
Huh.
I think that sex position or wrestling move would be a fun game. We'll let producer Gerald find one, and then you and I we go with. Why are his veins like highlighted?
That's his arm. They're delineating his arm. He's just got it casually resting on his thigh, which I know those thighs are burning right now. So I don't know.
Those thighs are on fire. Those calves too. I don't know who is more compromised right there.
There's a lot going on there.
Yeah. For those that, this blue and gray one down there is
what
also
is that?
It's like a reverse wheelbarrow. What is that called?
I don't know what
Dan
that
can't even
is.
get that one together. You're the gray one.
I understand.
Okay.
I still don't understand the physics of it.
I'll tell you what, that one takes some dedication.
Apparently they all do.
These are silly. We'll look at adding that segment for our more mature.
I really think we need to. Producer Gerald can just show us a picture each week, and the game is sex position or wrestling move. That's it.
And you give us two options, and we choose. I'll tell you what. When we talked about butter churning, I didn't
see it going there.
I never imagined that we were going to be talking about the Urban Dictionary version of it. I did not even know.
Interesting.
Yeah, some of those illustrations are graphic.
I know. Look at this girl's folded up, man. That can't be comfortable for anybody.
I know. I like the ones that look like the people on the bathroom door fucking though.
Yeah.
Like that crude one right there. You can't even really tell what's happening. Oh, that one's got a mask on. That's social distancing. I'm done with this. This took a turn. We started with animal cruelty, and now we've ended with the butter churner. This will conclude the bullshit section up front where we talk before it gets any worse. Oh, my God.
No.
That one's planking and has a traffic cone on its head.
With a witch hat.
Why does it have a hat on? Oh, is that a cowboy? A 10-gallon hat you have to wear for that one. The internet's a wild place. Shout out to the internet for keeping it real.
Stuff going on.
If this is your first time here, welcome to the show. We're going to talk about what we played and get into some video games in just a second. But if you've got time or money, head over to patreon.com/Gamestitch. If you don't have either, I'm glad that you've made it to this part of the show because we haven't added anything to your life yet.
Yeah.
So thank you for that. Like, truly thank you for lasting this long. Which is what your lover will say if you're doing the butter churner.
Yeah. She'll say something.
Yeah, patreon.com/Gamestitch, or just listen each and every week. We are on pretty much any service you could imagine. New episodes hit Monday, 6 a.m. Central Standard Time on services around the world. Now, we played some stuff.
We did.
But I just want to focus on the same one that we talked about last week.
Okay.
Which is the Dark Pictures Anthology, Little Hope.
We completed one of the stories, I guess. It's like a choose your own adventure game if you're not familiar with it. I'm pretty sure you probably are, but quick recap. It's like a choose your own adventure game. You make different choices that determines different things that happen and different endings. Well, we got one of the endings yesterday.
Now, something different happened in this versus our playthrough of The Man of Medan.
Mm-hmm.
And that you and I we didn't seem to have all the answers at the end of this one.
Not just that, but we probably spent a half hour after finishing it talking about the game. Just on like a philosophical level.
I think we did this weird thing after the fact where we justified the ending that we got.
Right.
Because we didn't quite understand the ending, so we fit it into our thinking of what was happening.
Right.
It's weird. I'm looking at producer Drell's got the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
Everything hits differently now with the ending that we got.
Right.
Like, all of that is so much different to me than before. What's interesting is when it first ended, I hated that ending. I thought it was lazy, mailed in.
Yep,
I didn't care for it.
We talked about that.
As time has gone on, I'm more okay with the ending, but I still have more questions than answers.
I have more questions than answers as well. At first, with the ending, I was just like, whoa, what? And I will say it was abrupt.
It was very abrupt.
But the funny thing is that after that ending, what it made me... I dug way too deep into this game as I was playing it. Because we had some serious discussions about what we thought was happening and who represented what. And it turns out it's fucking none of that. It's 100 times more simple than that.
I'd like to give myself a shout out because at one point I said, I'm pretty sure everything that we just spent the last 2 days talking about is not true. And there's a chance it doesn't mean any of this. And then we laughed about it and then continued on our journey thinking it was that. And it clearly wasn't.
Yes.
I think, the simplest answer is usually the most accurate in this case, to an extreme maybe.
Now, I will say that even though I don't have all the answers, even with more answers, I kind of feel like the ending was a bit... I don't mind the ending, I'm at first I was like, what? That was, I'm not over... To me, there's a laziness in that concept, which is obviously I don't want to talk about what the concept is.
Yep.
Because that would literally spoil the whole game. But I feel there's a laziness in that concept that it leaves a not so great feeling in my stomach. I understand what they were going for. But I've never liked that concept in general. It's never sat well with me. So, I mean, it doesn't... Other than that, it's fucking great. Everything was great. But
yeah, You know, I think I might have even said last week that the story matters, but it doesn't really matter.
Right.
I still sort of feel that way. I will tell you, I was higher on this game before it ended than where I am now. And I say that from a place of, like, I had an extreme... I went through the emotions on this game. I mean, it was... jump scares got us. I had moments where I thought I knew and then we had figured stuff out, and moments of, like, uneasiness, and moments where I got really irritated at we killed 2 people in maybe a 3-second span after what I thought was a perfect playthrough till that point.
Yes.
I was disappointed in us then. I mean, we went through some real emotions
playing it. We did.
And I can't say enough about Supermassive and what they're doing, and will continue to do, it would seem. But this ending, so last night I told you I felt better about the ending than when it ended. Mm-hmm. And when I woke up this morning, I'm like, I don't know about that ending.
You feel better about the ending. You still don't think it was a good one.
Yeah. Sometimes when things try so hard at the, like, gotcha.
Yeah.
It doesn't get me the way you wanted it to.
Yeah.
But I suggest this game to everybody.
Without a doubt.
Especially if you have someone to play with. Now, here's what I was going to ask you. As soon as we finished, you said, I think we should play this more because I think we missed a lot of the answers, which I also believe we missed a lot of the answers.
Yes.
Would you ever play this game by yourself?
I would, yes.
See, I don't think I would.
I would prefer to play it with a friend.
What I think is so magical about these games is our experience together. Now, I will say, during Man of Medan, we didn't communicate really at all.
No.
Because we might have read a little too in deep what was happening.
Yeah.
In depth of what was actually happening. We had to break this down while playing. And I here's what I'll say. I think the place that we took it is better than the place that they took it.
Oh, me. Yeah, I agree 100%. Yeah.
I think the super deep place that maybe 4% of the people who would have played it might have gotten to was a better place, because I don't know how you ever show the thing that we kept talking about that it was.
Right. I agree. I think where we went with it was like fucking phenomenal, and basically it was our idea of what the game was. It was completely different from what their idea was. I agree. I think ours was better. Ours went to a much, much different place.
Yep. Joe, can you pull up the price of Little Hope and also the price for Little Hope and Man of Medan together? Yeah, so it's $30 for Little Hope. You cannot go wrong for that price.
No.
They sell a collection. It may be harder to find. They do sell one that comes with both of them.
Now, where do you sit on playing it again?
I'm torn. I mean, I think we talked about this with Man of Medan, but my thoughts for that game will become tainted if we play it again, because my memory is so bad. I won't know which run was our initial run.
Well, I'll be able to help you out with that.
That bundle's $50 for both games, and I super suggest that. But I'm not against playing it again. There's that part that I think we have to rectify.
I don't think it's just that part. I think it's a number of things.
I do too, but I think that part, like, for me, feels really undone.
Yeah.
Because the second that I made the choice and everything played out the way it is, I immediately that was wrong choice. Like, here's why I should have done that, which may not also be true because everything we thought was wrong. So,
right. I mean, it could still go that way. I don't think so, though, just because of things. But
I will say, for what it's worth, that wrong decision there made me later make the choice that I was pretty sure was wrong, thinking it would be right, and it was.
Yes.
So, oh my God, if you did the special edition, you get the Poppet.
The Poppet.
Sweet God, I'm glad I didn't pre-order that. That thing does not ever need to be in my home.
It looks like that's only from the
collection.
The Bandai Namco store.
I kind of like it.
I don't want it.
I don't want it, but I kind of like it.
Hey, Poppet.
Oh, Pulpit. We just took a hard shift into Pirates of the Caribbean. Oh, Pulpit.
Well, now I know that Poppet means doll.
Yep. Gerald asked the question, do both games tie into each other? They do through the curator. That is how these stories are being told.
And thematically, I would guess you could say they tie in together. But as far as overlapping characters, locations, no. They are two separate and anthological stories.
Supermassive. Sorry, go ahead.
Told under the guise of the curator telling stories.
Supermassive obviously enjoys the supernatural, enjoys a scary story. They lean into the camp in a way that I think if they were trying to wouldn't come off good, but because they just let it happen, I think it feels natural and fun and silly. They still, like when watching a movie, there's still moments where Dan and myself are like, no, you can't go in there. You can't go in there. Like, let's check and see if there's a phone here. Like, there's still moments where you're like, there's no phone there. Don't go in that building.
Yeah.
You know, it does like camp very well, I think. It feels wrong, but in the same way that they would be wrong in a movie.
Right.
Like the same way they'd make a terrible decision in any other
piece
of entertainment.
It hits those tropes very well.
Yeah, and you know, the camera angles, everything is super creepy, and I enjoy it. I enjoy those games. There's the Poppet. Look at it.
It does look good, huh?
It looks really good. In that bag, it looks really cheap, but out of that bag, I think, especially if you put it in a glass case, Dan, you know what I'm talking about.
Uh-huh.
That would be extraordinary. If I walked in your house and you had that, I would leave immediately.
Yeah, glass case.
But I can't suggest these games enough. Like I said, the collection is $50 if you haven't played either one of them. Right. I do actually suggest that you start with Until Dawn if you haven't played Until Dawn.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Until Dawn, it won't hold up as well as these two games. I think that's the logical place to start, because if you try to play Until Dawn after, I don't think you'll appreciate it as much. And Until Dawn is really the reason we have this anthology. And it's
without
good.
a doubt.
Now, I'm confused. You pre-ordered it. I pre-ordered it. You got the code, right, for whatever?
Yes.
What did that even add?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, see if you can type in pre-order. I know we have to move on. See if you can type into Little Hope pre-order.
Actually, I think it automatically... No, I didn't get a code. It said mine automatically unlocked with it.
I had a code I had to enter, and then it unlocked it.
Oh, I don't think I did.
Yeah, I'm wondering what the pre-order bonus was, because... There. Can you make that bigger?
Ooh. The curator cut, huh?
Yeah, what does that mean? Play previously unavailable scene. I don't know what that means. That seems like all scenes would be available to me, but...
Oh, well, no, but I pre-ordered mine digitally.
But doesn't that make it seem like all scenes would be available to us? And they're not. Now, here's the other thing. That may be single player only, because I do know that if you go to single player now, you actually don't have any scenes available.
Right.
Because we played in multiplayer.
Right.
To which we have all
and those
available.
scenes may be dependent on the choices you make.
They are, but that makes it seem like you see all of them, no matter what.
Gotcha. Yeah.
I don't know. I'll have to do some digging. Highly suggest that game. Again, shout out to Supermassive. I think it's fun. It's available on Xbox, PlayStation, and PC. So
I might actually play through it single player just to see.
All right. Pre-ordering Dark Pictures. Little Hope got you early access to the Curator's Cut. Whoa. Which shows you new playable scenes from other characters' perspectives, offering new dimensions to be made, new consequences to be had. For Man of Medan, the Curator's Cut became free a few months later for everyone who had completed the full playthrough of the game, but pre-ordering ensures that you won't have to wait to see the bonus content. I don't know that worked for what we did.
Me either. I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't either. So, we're going to fast forward to the news. It's not a lot to talk about, but there are some big stories here to unpack. But I don't think it'll take us too long. So if we're running long and you're concerned, don't be.
Yeah, well, the first big story is that, and I get to take this over because this is my jam. Yesterday was N7 Day. And for those of you that don't know, that's essentially the celebration of Mass Effect by BioWare. They did a bunch of things yesterday. They released some new collectibles and stuff on the BioWare store. They actually did a Zoom conference with, I think, 7 of the voice actors from the Mass Effect trilogy. And but that's not all, because there was even bigger news. BioWare announced that the Legendary Edition is going to bring back the original trilogy in 2021. Remastered. So basically what that consists of is better graphics. It's going to have all the DLC. It's going to have all of the bonus armors and gear that you could get. So that was a pretty big deal, especially for us Mass Effect fans. It's important to note it's not necessarily going to be any changes made to the gameplay as of right now. It's just going to be maximized to look better on the newer consoles. This will also be coming to PS5 and Xbox Series X at some point. But for right now, they've only announced it for Xbox One and PS4 and PC, I believe. So that was a pretty big deal. It's important to note, or it's intriguing to note that Andromeda was missing from this. So they apparently do not have the same ideas for that they do for Mass Effect, which makes sense. Andromeda was considered not quite up to par with everything in the Mass Effect franchise. But if you are a Mass Effect fan, you have something to look forward to. I know I'm looking forward to it. I know I will be picking it up. I am hoping, at minimum, they fix the elevators in the first Mass Effect. But other than that, I will be grabbing this up and playing through it. So,
do you plan to play through all 3?
Yeah. I do. I just like the game. Those games are so good to me. They're still some of my favorite games to play. Not my most perfect games, but my favorite games to play. To piggyback off that, BioWare also announced that they are working on a new Mass Effect game. They've given no details other than it's going to be members of the original team that are working on it. No release, no pictures, no idea what it is. Just that Mass Effect is coming back in some way, shape, or form in a new game. So expect that in probably 2031.
Something right around the corner like that.
So
they are obviously still working on Anthem as well as Dragon Age.
Yes.
So.
N7 Day was a pretty big day yesterday. There have been calls for a remaster. There's been numerous leaks for the remaster. So this wasn't a huge surprise, but hearing it straight from BioWare's mouth was exciting to hear because you know it's real.
Yep. And knowing's half the battle is what they say.
That's what G.I. Joe says anyway.
That's where I get all my facts from. That's where I live my life by their creed. Mm-hmm.
Who doesn't? Where else?
Now, anything else you want to say before we shift gears?
No, I'm super excited for these. If you've been interested in the Mass Effect franchise, but have been a little put off maybe by the age or whatever, this might be a chance to jump in because I think you're going to see. I know they say it's just a minor remaster with some, upgraded visual and stuff. I do believe you will see some gameplay changes, i.e. the elevators in Mass Effect 1. But I think this would be, if it's something you've thought about or have been interested in and been put off by the age or some of the stuff you've heard, this might be a good spot to jump in. Just keep an eye on it. Make up your own mind for yourself.
Yep. We're going to switch over to Nintendo. You see what I did there?
Yeah, that's punny.
Okay. Yeah, it was. I thought I nailed it. So Nintendo's actually put out an updated list of their top 10 sellers. And I thought some of this was interesting because you never get the full data from Nintendo because downloads typically aren't included in it when NPD releases the data. But here is the 10 preview. So here is the full top 10 with the previous quarter figures. So this is courtesy of Vooks, which I don't know what that is, but starting at number 10 with a modest 8.32 million copies is the new Super Mario Bros. U, which is not bad for a game they've already sold once.
Right.
Splatoon 2 at 11.2 million. Super Mario Party at 12 million. Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu Eevee at 12.5 million. Super Mario Odyssey at 19 million. Pokemon Sword and Shield at 19 million. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, a little over 19.5 million. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, 21 million. Animal Crossing New Horizon, 26 million copies, which is mind-blowing.
Considering it's only been out for 5 months or whatever.
And considering that it's Animal Crossing, which has always had a cult following but has never been mainstream, I would argue.
Until now.
Number one, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe at a whopping 29 million. Up from 26 million. Dude, this Animal Crossing made my heart warm and fuzzy.
Yeah.
Because I've always loved Animal Crossing, and that's not why I'm not beating the drum that I was there before everybody, but this solidifies the fact that Animal Crossing will never go away.
Right.
Because we know how much Nintendo loves a winner and loves a franchise. And, they had shown... there's always been interest. Those games have always done well, but with this kind of success, Animal Crossing solidified itself on every Nintendo platform now till the end of time.
It's here to stay.
And we've talked about it before. A lot of the success was due to the absolute perfect timing for Nintendo of their release. I hate to say perfect timing given the situation, but it was for several things, including this.
Right.
And so... blown away by those numbers and those figures. So other games to sell over 1 million units include Luigi's Mansion 3, Ring Fit Adventure, Super Mario Maker 2, Astral Chain, The Legend of Zelda, Link's Awakening, The Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, Fire Emblem, 3 Houses, Clubhouse Games 51 Worldwide Classics, Paper Mario, The Origami King, and Super Mario All-Stars. It's worth note that the top 10 best-selling games on Switch are all first-party Nintendo games.
Yeah.
So suck it, third-party. Just kidding. I mean, that shows you what is important to both Nintendo and to the people who play.
And to its consumers, yeah.
So, very interesting. We'll fast forward to the next story, which is good or bad, depending on how you feel about it. But it appears that Sony thinks you'll be able to get a PlayStation on day one if you didn't pre-order one already, but you're going to have to do that online.
Which, let's be clear here, means if you didn't pre-order one, you're probably not getting one on day one.
Mm-hmm.
Because typically the way any online sales work of something that is a little hard to come by is you've got all the assholes that buy it up and then jack up the price and sell it on eBay. That's probably what you're going to be seeing here.
I agree with that. I think your odds of getting one in a store were much higher than getting them online. Hopefully they have a better plan / system than they did the first time these came available.
Yes.
Sony announced that in an effort to keep staff, gamers, and retailers safe during the COVID-19 pandemic, all day of launch sales will be conducted through online retailers. No PS5 units will be available in-store for purchase on November 12th, but if you had previously pre-ordered the PS5 for pickup, you should still be able to grab that console from your designated time and retailer that is allotted to you. Please make sure you check for your individual instructions when it comes to that. Please don't plan on camping out or lining up outside your local retailer in hopes of finding a PlayStation 5 console. This is according to Sid Schumann. Be safe, stay home, and place your orders online. This logistically is probably easier for Sony and also the retailers, but they want you in their stores, so I can assume that they're probably not happy with that.
Yes. I understand why they're doing it.
Hard to argue with their reasoning. Even
it's
if
hard
I'm
to
not
argue for their reasoning.
Sure.
It is not going to go the way they think it's going to go, unfortunately.
Yep. So if you had hopes of getting a PS5, if you're me and you have a camera for a PS5 but not a PS5, you're going to have to hold that plug for a little longer, it seems like.
Yeah, see, I've gotten to where I'm good to wait till after the first of the year at some point to get one.
Yeah, I don't mind waiting. I would prefer not to wait, I guess is where I would classify.
Well, I would prefer not to, but but I'm actually probably 50-50 on it.
Yeah. You know, it's one of those things where I'm excited to see the UI and to have it, but I'm going to mostly be playing PS4 games anyways.
Right.
On it, but yeah, I would like to have one. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I love video games. The idea of there being a console out there that I can't get that I want to buy and I'm lucky enough to be able to buy, that sucks.
Yeah.
But I'm okay. Like, I'm in a different place now than ever before where I don't have like this FOMO going on, but I would like to have one.
Well, see, and that's the thing is like my TV that I've had up here is that I play games on. It all it does is my consoles hook up to it. That's it. It's the only thing I do on it. It's 5 years old.
Yeah.
What is that graphical stuff going to do for me? Nothing.
Yeah.
As far as faster loading times and all that, hey, that's great. That's stuff I can wait on. I'm not hugely put upon by the wait times now because I'm used to them.
Yeah. I just think I struggle to talk about like my want for a PS5 because I don't want people to be like, oh, he doesn't want one because he's not getting one. Because I do want one.
I do too.
Yeah, I don't want to come across like I don't want one. The world's not going to end if I don't get it in November. However, if I could get one in November, I would like to.
Me too. Yeah,
yeah, that's kind of where I stand. And if, like you said, if it's next year, that's okay too.
Right.
I would prefer it not be, but that's okay. You know, and that's kind of where I'm like, I even like outside of the show, like I struggle to talk about it because people are like, you don't want one? I'm like, I do want one. They're like, so you're upset? I'm like, I'm not upset. Like, I don't.
Right.
It's like people want me to be furious because they can't believe I'm not getting one. And I'm like, I tried to get one.
Here's the thing is regardless, I will get one.
Yeah. And I'll get one as soon as I can, but I won't pay more than it cost.
Right.
So as soon as I can find one for the retail price, a disc version, that's what I want, I will get one.
Yeah, see, and I want the discless version, so.
Yeah, so as soon as I find one, I'll get one. And hopefully that is November 12th, but it probably won't be, and that's okay too.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
But yeah, so make your plans to stay inside and camp out. Luckily, I am off of work that day, so your boy might just be sitting in front of a computer refreshing. Just saying. I thought this story was interesting because it's a little unexpected to me, but Codemasters is in talks with Take-Two over a possible sale. In a memo to investors, Codemaster confirmed that it's considering a potential sale to Take-Two Interactive. Owner of Rockstar and 2K Games, Take-Two issued an acquisition proposal to Codemasters that values Codemasters at $973.48 million, a larger number than Codemasters' market cap value of $873 million. The proposal isn't final. Details can be amended, and it's contingent upon completion of due diligence. If Take-Two goes through with a firm offer, Codemasters' board has indicated it will unanimously recommend shareholders to accept the deal. No shit. If you have something worth $800 million and someone wants to buy it for $900, you just shoot a thumbs up back.
Yes. Especially if you're Codemasters.
Shots fired. Codemasters has become prolific in the racing category and racing genre. It seems to be almost all they do at this point.
And like the second tier racing games.
Oh, I would disagree with that. I think they make top tier racing games. I
Really?
think they're not your Gran Turismo and Forza, but I think they are as good as it gets as far as driving mechanics go. I think Dirt is an incredible franchise.
Okay.
But yeah, they're known for their racing games. And released of their Formula One games, Dirt, Grid, Onrush in recent years. It also acquired Project Cars dev Slightly Mad Studios to make sure that they have all of the racing series out there. So we'll kind of keep our eye on this and see how it plays out. Take-Two has until December 4th to make a firm offer or decide not to make an offer. The deadline can be extended if the panel on takeovers and mergers consents. I would imagine this deal gets done.
Yeah, me too.
It's an odd purchase for Take-Two, I think. So, one thing you can take from this, though, is that the driving in Gran Turismo or Grand Theft Auto should get a lot better.
I was just about to say the same exact thing.
Should get better. Maybe also the resurgence of a Midnight Club.
Mm-hmm.
Could see that coming back.
Yeah.
A franchise that I think people would enjoy revisiting just out of nostalgia.
No tabletop tennis, though.
Well, maybe. Think about those card physics on those ping pong balls. Our last story, a weird one, but I think it was time to put this to bed. PT cannot be downloaded on a PS5, and Konami has confirmed this.
Yep.
So in an email to Games Radar, Konami said that the content will not be available on the PlayStation Store, so users won't be able to re-download the content through the backwards compatibility feature of the PS5. This apparently wasn't always the case. The game was previously working on the system, according to Polygon and Games Radar, before suddenly it stopped working. It is possible the software update disabled the game on the PS5.
Yeah, it was Konami.
Yeah, if you guys were still holding out hope for PT and still love the fact that it was out there and you had it downloaded and you could always get it, you're going to have to keep your PS4 around.
Yep, don't get rid of that. Don't trade that in.
Yep.
Not if you want to play PT.
Yep, never trade that in. Keep it forever and ever.
Forever and ever.
That's it for the news.
That's it. Yeah, not a big week news-wise.
Mostly real Mass Effect-y.
Yeah, very Mass Effect-y.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I told you, Ryan. I did start playing Lego Underground.
Oh, what do you think? Lego Undercover. Yeah,
that's what it is, Undercover. I'm real early into it. I like the B movie, the B action movie aspect of it.
You like Chase?
That's fun. Chase McGrath.
Yeah.
But it's a typical Lego game in the fact that it doesn't give you any instructions on what you need to do.
Yeah. Lego games are very self-aware, but they do assume that you are very versed in the Lego verse.
Yes.
You're very comfortable in the Lego verse, the Lego cinematic universe.
There's still stuff I'm like, why do I need to do this? I don't even know. Why do I need to change my clothes?
Yeah,
I'm sure will become evident later.
Yeah, you change your clothes to have different skill sets, I believe.
Well, yeah, I understand that. That's what I assume.
It's basically like Hitman.
Yeah. But
it's basically Hitman. Yeah. Yeah, so everything, Gerald brought up Lego Worlds. Everything Lego, I feel like, builds upon what they think you already know about Lego.
Yeah.
In the Lego games. And so if you have been outside of that ecosystem or just not played one in forever, it probably is jarring to go back because they assume you already understand.
I do enjoy it. I got it on the Switch, so it's a nice little like time killer,
Yep.
So
I milled off my Joy-Con for repair. It's on its way back to me now.
Nice.
I did put a tiny maker's mark on there to see if I get mine back. So I'm interested to see what they send me back. But it actually, we shipped that to your neck of the woods.
Oh, it comes up here to New York?
Rochester.
Really?
Yes. Not to Nintendo, to some radio place up there.
Oh. Probably the one over on Culver.
This will make for a riveting show, but I'll actually tell you where it went.
Oh, okay. I know there's one on Culver, or is it Hudson?
Let's see.
Actually, there's a couple of different ones. East Lee Road? Lee Street?
Let me find the one where they...
Yeah, there's a couple of different ones. Actually, more than a couple. There's quite a few up here. I don't know.
I think this is it.
Riveting. This is riveting.
Yeah, it is. It's good.
Everybody's edge of their seat.
Where is he going to say that it got shipped to? That's what everybody's saying, right? Like, where did it go?
Where in Rochester?
Yeah. Will it not let me see anymore?
Ryan's having trouble reading. It's okay.
No, I think because I already printed the label, I think it won't let me.
Oh, it won't let you see anymore? That's fine.
No, because it actually had the name of the place that it went to.
Yeah. You can
some
let
sort
us know
of
next
radio
week when you
place.
get it back. What's that?
It was some sort of radio place.
Gotcha.
But it's on its way back to me now, and I'm excited about it.
Yeah, that'll be exciting, without a doubt.
Yeah, I'm wondering, it shipped out on...
What day?
It looks like it shipped out on Wednesday, so you think that it's in transit is what it's listed as.
You'll probably see it Monday.
Monday by 9 p.m. it says.
Yeah.
This shows it came from Syracuse.
Oh, so that's not Rochester.
East Syracuse. I think it was where I sent it, though, I think was Rochester. I feel like shenanigans are happening.
Something weird.
Yeah, I don't know. But we'll see how that goes. Excited about that.
Syracuse might be the main hub.
Yeah, but it's not where I mailed it to. Oh, you mean that's where they would drop it off at?
The main UPS hub.
Because they're dropping off, probably picking up in bulk.
Right.
How far is that from you?
Hour and a half.
Okay, yeah, so that could be what happened. Because mine could say like Nashville.
I know Syracuse is a hub, and Buffalo was a hub, and Syracuse would be closer to Rochester.
Yeah, because when I get mine, I see... like a lot of the stuff I ship out will show that it left from Nashville.
Yeah.
Even though it did not. Shout out to Zach. Shout out to Thomas. Thanks for your support over at patreon.com/GameStitch. Remember, if you want to support us just like those two fine gents, please head over to patreon.com/GameStitch. Anything helps. Because Dan and I are going to be playing PS5s. So at least let us count that sweet, sweet Patreon money that we put right back into the show and never get to enjoy.
Yes.
Yeah. And
maybe it's time we start enjoying some of that.
You think gold chains?
Just saying. Oh, I got some ideas.
Gamestitch chains?
I got some ideas.
Okay.
Off air.
Hold on. We don't want to piss people off. Yeah, so to this point, every dime we've ever raised has gone right back into the production of this very show.
Yeah.
Which means we haven't been paid for this job in roughly like 8 years.
Thinking it's time.
Yeah, so Dan's thinking that we should buy jet skis. Spoiler alert, there's not jet ski money in there.
I don't need to go that big.
But yeah, thanks for everything that you guys do. Thanks for the support. We'll continue to try to make this show better. Gerald, thanks for your time this morning. It's glad to have you back. Glad to be back, he says. Glad to be back.
It's good to have you.
We're happy to still not have him mic'd so that you guys can continue to complain about that.
Yes.
What would you bitch about if you could hear him, you know? That's what I'm thinking. We'll probably have more to say about Little Hope next week. I'm sure Dan will have more to say about Ghost. I don't know that I'll have anything new to talk about, but I do think I'm going to pick up Pistol Whip. It's on sale right now in VR, which is basically John Wick Simulator, and I'm excited about getting into that. And so hopefully we'll have some new stuff to talk about next week. This is episode 408 in the books. It's done. It's over. We'll try to do better next week, but this one's finished.
Yes. Finite.
Yep. So we'll be back next week, same time, same place. Good night.
Good night.